Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Oh, my goodness. And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. We're also available on the audio realm. Be sure to leave us a rating, review, or a comment. Really helps boost the exposure of Going In Raw. We're also on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. I'm sure we've got some new patrons over the past 24 hours.
Yes.
So, of course, this is the point of the show where I give some shout-outs. $1 and up, you get to hear me read your name. Sometimes I even don't butcher it.
You usually do a pretty good job. You do a much better job than I would.
Shout out to Wayne Maker.
Yeah, Wayne Maker's here. Welcome back, Wayne Maker. Hope you're doing well.
Hopefully he's doing better. He came down with severe symptoms of fat bastard, and he was laid out for a couple days, and now he's back. So much love to Wayne Maker. Glad you're on the road back from fat bastard.
Gosh. Probably they be watching the show the way you treat some of the friendos, man.
I love him so much. I'm glad he's better. Let's see here. Davey Hop and the Zacharine.
Thank you.
That's a very dramatic name. The Zacharine.
It is.
Anyways. So yeah, how are you feeling today? We're on Larson crappy immune system watch 2019.
Hey, man, my immune system's pretty good.
I don't know, man.
It's the first time I've been sick in a while.
The guy said he's been subbed to the channel for 3 years and you've been sick every day.
He's probably watched like 3 videos.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
So yeah, you feeling better today?
Yeah, I'm not as congested. Just a little bit of cough. I've never really felt terrible.
Yeah. And
it's just been those annoying, lingering type deals.
That's been my thing too. I haven't felt really bad. I'm just happy my
like I went to the gym still yesterday. Got a good back workout in.
That's good.
Got some pump in my
That's
arms.
really wise. You're sick and you go where a bunch of germs are. Good job on that one.
I'm not contagious anymore.
Anyways,
I don't do cardio.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them.
I'm
All the
not worried about
nasty
that.
germs.
I'm not worried about that.
I know. That's the problem.
Because since I've been getting my pump on at the gym,
Hey.
I feel like I'm getting sick far less than I did when I was a
use
lazy bastard not going to the gym ever. Take that.
You're going to have Wayne Maker symptoms there. You had Wayne Maker symptoms like 20 years ago. Fat bastardisms. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still sadly suffer from that. I probably will for the rest of my, even if I get like super fit mentally, I'll always be a fat bastard.
All right. Anyways, continue what you were going to say.
Well, I don't know what I was going to say.
No, all right.
Anyways, we're going to review, what are we going to review today? A
All
lot of stuff.
All the network stuff.
I'm so glad that Cassius Ohno is staying on one of the programs that we review here on this show because I don't have to excise him or move him. Because I love his intro for Going In Raw.
Yeah, it's very good.
So, yeah.
It's
also,
interesting
just
move, though.
Quick reminder to people watching live, and I know now that I say this is probably going to put it in your head, but anybody spoiling stuff from the tapings that went down last night
don't do it.
Will get automatically banned, so do not do it.
Don't do it.
It's just be cool.
Just be cool, man.
Just be cool. Although we did hear, this breaks my heart, Chelsea Green finally had her. Oh my God,
Yeah, that's bad.
that looks gnarly.
Yeah.
You can see
that's
it
why.
bending right
That's
there.
why she had to have surgery. Or
She
has
broke
surgery.
her wrist last night in a match
Finished
there
it,
at
though.
Full Sail.
Finished the match.
Finished it. I mean, she won. It's not really a consequential match.
I was going to make TV.
Yeah.
And then
Eesh. Oh,
and then
goodness.
she broke her wrist and has to have surgery on it today. It's a bummer. We got to meet her at StarCast.
She is lovely.
She is lovely.
She is delightful.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very charming.
Oh, just hilarious. She brightens the room.
Absolutely.
That Zack Ryder is a lucky guy. Anyways.
Doesn't look like she's doing based on this one picture, the hot mess thing.
No, it doesn't seem like it. I mean, that'd be kind of weird to bring a gimmick over from TNA anyways.
Well,
Because it's a very specific gimmick.
It is, but she does it so well.
Yeah, I know. But I have faith she'll do anything well.
All right,
She'll do it all good.
All right.
Anyways. But, I don't know how long, Mr. Dr. Larson, do you know how long it takes to recover from surgery on a broken wrist?
It depends on how much damage there is. Usually it's like 6 to 8 weeks for bone to start to grow again.
Yeah.
Usually broken bone,
Yeah.
you're not fully healed for like a year.
Oh, my God.
That's because my dad broke his ankle. That's what the orthopedist told me.
Yeah. But can he wrestle?
No.
Wow.
I mean, Chelsea Green probably, but it's usually it might be different on different bones because when he broke his ankle, it was those are thicker bones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it might take longer for bone growth to start. But I was actually kind of surprised. It's kind of off topic.
Sure.
You know, you wear your cast for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is, and you think, all right, 8 weeks, good to go.
Oh, God.
Good as new.
Yeah.
No, that's just like when stuff's starting to mend.
Oh, shit.
It's just at that point, it can provide its own stability, so you don't need a stability of a cast.
Ugh.
So if it's 6 to 8 weeks just to get the bone to a situation where it's structurally reasonably sound, then there's rehab involved, I'm sure, for her to get back up to speed in a wrestling capacity. So maybe an extra month after that.
Yeah. Some people bring up here, Sean Lindsay brought up, and I know this. I saw the pictures and everything. Chelsea Green's been doing the hot mess stuff on the Florida house show.
That's what I thought.
I just figured, and it's awesome. It is great. I just think that like that particular gimmick, it's got a backstory. And although I think it's kind of cool to be able to extrapolate it without having watched any of the Impact stuff, which by the way, that small period of Impact, that wedding stuff was actually really well done. I really doubt they're going to put her out on TV with a backstory that you really have to try to figure out.
But I think the hot mess character kind of speaks for itself. I don't think you need to go all the way back to his origins.
Well, she didn't do it last night, so
Yeah.
So anyways, so we got a bunch to get through. Let me see if I have my notes up. Oh wow, look at that, I do. Woo! Steve, for one moment, is not a hot mess. Things kicked off, of course, with a Dusty Classic.
Yeah, on NXT. Starting with
actually,
NXT.
let's nutshell these episodes. What was your favorite? What was your
NXT was pretty good. I kind of felt like NXT UK kind of went back to the norm of kind of not really doing a whole lot of story stuff. It was a little more. It felt more like random matches stuck together.
You know what it was,
and like the stories are for example, like Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan. They have a little story where they are lucking into wins or something. And was Kenny Williams going to dance? That's the story.
Yeah, I know.
It's pretty slight. As funny as it might be, it's pretty slight.
There's I mean, has Gallus been dicking with Morgan Webster and what's his face?
Really?
I don't think so.
No story. Doesn't put together match.
You know what though? I really like. We got a question on Matt Chat. Which person do you wish had held off on signing with WWE to go to All Elite?
Oh, Flash Morgan Webster's your answer.
I really like him. I
like his move set. I like his approach to wrestling. It's just the character just does.
Okay, so here's the thing. Once the bell rings, I really like him.
Yeah.
I'm not into the whole I don't understand
the
bell.
He's good.
Because he's so. The thing that I really love about him is that he's so least likely.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a wrestler, and he doesn't. He's kind of in ring what I think Dean Ambrose should be, but Dean Ambrose goes through the motions. He just does the same thing over and over again. When I see Flash Morgan Webster, it feels like a dude who's in there trying to win and do everything he can because he's not really a wrestler.
He throws caution to the wind.
Yeah, and I really dig that about him.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
No, I agree. I think in the ring he's good. Just the whole mod thing does nothing for me.
Yeah, I agree with that totally.
But then all the other matches, they're just kind of.
The other one, you're right. There's no story there besides the dancing thing. We got a debut, which is can't blame
and
that
then
one for not having a
the main
story.
event. There's a story there. They're trying to build the NXT UK title match. I guess.
Yeah, that was a killer main event.
That was good.
But I mean, again, it's one of those things where you got a super team of Walter and Pete Dunne. Yeah, they're gonna win.
Yeah,
I
love that anytime anybody bothers, has the fortitude to try to chop Walter. Oh, it just makes him mad. It just makes him so angry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
Like a giant baby.
That first chop he had on Joe Coffey was fantastic.
205 had some really good matches.
Yeah, the matches are good.
And
it's the final we saw coming for this tournament.
Yeah. So anyways, let's get right into it.
Yeah. NXT kicked off Mustache Mountain versus Forgotten Sons. Round 2, Dusty Classic action.
Yeah.
Semifinals.
This was a cool match. I understand. By the end of this, obviously, we had the finalists, and you need a face and a heel team. Mm-hmm. But I really like Mustache Mountain.
Me too.
I really wish this would have been their year.
If I'm being honest though, I'm kind of tired with how they're booking their matches. It's always Trent Seven gets beat up.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I think
Tyler Bate carries the team every single time.
Of Mustache Mountain, their entire, and I have not seen their stuff in progress, so it's probably different.
Yeah.
But I feel like ever since they've been a team in WWE, because Tyler had his solo run.
Yeah.
But ever since over the past year or so, they've been a team. The entirety of it is Trent Seven trying to get Tyler Bate over. Have you noticed that? Like, he always throws to him for promos.
Yeah.
Like, he'll do his bit, but then he'll throw to him. And
Yeah, it
even in
happened
the
last
promo
night.
they had,
Yeah, it happened last night.
even in the promo they had, I don't know.
NXT UK,
NXT UK. He was feeding Tyler Bate. And Tyler Bate wasn't really like he was kind of, but like Trent Seven is nothing but charisma.
Yeah.
And you can tell his improv is top level.
Yeah, yeah.
And Tyler's not there yet.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the ring and out of the ring, because even like Tyler Bates adopted the whole style thing from Trent Seven. I feel like Trent Seven is just trying to get him to the next. Trying to get Tyler.
I thought that too, totally.
Because he can see how much potential there is in him. Because wrestling wise, he's killer.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I thought that too. That was the idea that Trent.
But
Seven
I
was doing
agree
all
with
he
you.
can.
It makes for stories in the ring that are kind of predictable. You're right.
Yes.
It's Trent Seven gets his ass beat, and then Tyler Bate just does
cleans house
feats of
and either the
feats that will amaze you.
The finish comes down to one of two scenarios. Tyler Bate can carry the load to victory, or he gets them on the precipice of victory only for something to happen. So Trent Seven gets pinned.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and that's basically the only two outcomes.
Yeah,
and it's just not that interesting story-wise.
Yeah,
I mean the match could be good. This was a good match, but
well, I think the expectations are just high. It's not like they're bad matches because like I can watch Tyler Bate.
Oh, totally. Yeah, the
forever.
matches are fun. It's just I just want some variety in the stories are being told.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Like why can't Trent Seven be the guy that gets the hot tag at the end?
Yeah, just not his thing, man.
But it easily could be.
Because he's got fat bastardism. Mustache Mountain took on Forgotten Sons in the Dusty Classic.
Yeah.
And what do you think about them Forgotten Sons?
My opinion is largely unchanged.
Why don't you share your opinion here on the show?
I just don't find them that interesting.
No, man. So they cheated to win. What's his face at one point?
Jackson Riker.
Gunner.
Man, he's jacked.
Yeah, he's a big jack dude,
Yeah,
but there's not a lot going on here.
No,
this is blank.
Yeah,
like
which with the right gimmick could be used to his benefit. But I don't know if.
Well, do you really want a guy with no charisma? Maybe he has charisma. I don't know. I haven't heard him talk. I haven't heard him say anything. I've just seen them. All I've seen them do is mill about. Has he ever been on the mic in the ring?
I thought so, but I could.
I know that he's probably talked in the junkyard.
Yeah.
Wish we would explore that more. The junkyard. Why are they in the junkyard?
Yeah, they really need to develop their manifesto because that's what we need to know. At least Sanity, they look cool. I've said this countless times. Sanity looked really cool in the way they carried themselves and commentary, kind of fleshed out the motivations of their character.
Well,
they're all about chaos.
You can look at them and see. Well, their name's Sanity. Okay,
they give
I get
zero F's about societal norms for the most part. They want to cause chaos. I get that. But
like Forgotten Sons, yeah.
I mean, I'd have to make the illusion between Forgotten Sons and Fortunate Son, the CCR song.
Sure.
But that's completely different things. Because Fortunate Son is about draft dodgers.
True, yeah.
Especially from affluent families.
But these guys are all former military guys. So.
And the idea is that society doesn't, does look past them, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm just putting this together. I don't know if
this is my favorite new genre. This is my favorite new segment every time.
It's not storyline speculation. It's gimmick speculation.
That's so new.
Yeah.
What is this gimmick?
What exactly is the Forgotten Sons gimmicks?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
War veterans who feel society is turning a blind eye to them.
And judging by the crowd reaction of Full Sail, which is giant groan when it was obvious they were going to win there at the end because they had the numbers advantage.
Yeah, if that's their gimmick, like why book them as heels? Because if that's their characters and that's their motivations,
the other way doesn't work.
We're
guys who are positioned outside Walmart, like
those guys selling little paper poppies you're talking about.
Yeah, you walk past them.
I know, but it's not out of disrespect.
No, it isn't.
And that's the thing. If
I had cash, I might buy one of those.
Exactly. If these guys are legitimately all former military, and I know
but nobody carries cash anymore.
I know that's an issue. Steve Cutler is.
They all are.
I think so.
They all are. I think
at least 2/3 of them.
I think we've determined that here on the show before.
I mean, people just kind of, that's our natural inclination is to respect those who have served their country.
You know what's sad about this is that we've had this discussion several times.
I know,
and we're not reaching any more conclusions. And they've been on
they're
TV
not giving
more.
us any more to work with. It just seems where one's natural inclination is to respect veterans, yet if their point is veterans are often overlooked in this country after they return from duty, that's a good point because it happens.
Yeah.
But then they book them as heels, so you're like, well, I'm supposed to. I want to respect them. They're veterans. Their point is sound. At the same time, though, they're kind of a-holes.
Was Rambo a good guy or bad guy in the first one? In First Blood, was John Rambo?
He was the protagonist.
Yeah, well, he's a protagonist.
So he's a character you sympathize with. So yeah. He might not have always done good things.
Right. Well, especially by the third one, he was annihilating people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that last one too, the fourth one.
Oh my God, yeah. They're making another one too. Yeah.
The part with the gun on the truck.
The guy exploded. His head exploded.
Yeah, man, that was a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's a push and pull within you when it comes to Forgotten Sons when they're booked kind of like jerks.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's hard to really say, all right, I'm behind your cause.
Yeah. I just don't know
one's natural inclination, I think, for a gentleman in that position, for reals, you want to sympathize with.
Would it be? And this is. I'm taking sort of the jokes off right now.
All right.
Would it be weird or too much? Because I'm trying to envision in my head what it would take for them to be faces, and you'd have to go to reality.
Yeah.
You'd have to sit them down, and they would have to discuss what it's like to be out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what level of combat any of these guys have had. But I mean, no matter what, if you're in the armed services, you're going to have stories of, serving your country.
Yeah.
And number one, I think that would be pretty fascinating. I know that even Lacey Evans was with him on the house show circuit.
I think she was in the Marines or something like that.
And she was in the Marines, exactly, yeah. And so, hearing their actual stories would, number one, would get them supremely over.
Oh, yeah. Like do a Roderick Strong type thing on them.
Right, exactly.
Or TM61, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, apparently they want him heels. And now it's just confusing because nobody likes him and they literally chanted them, "We forgot you."
Yeah, it's no one likes them. They get zero heat.
Yeah.
It's go away heat.
It is go away heat.
And that's a huge problem.
And then they beat one of the most charismatic teams there is, Mustache Mountain.
Yeah.
So that happened.
That's the problem for Forgotten Sons.
I'm looking for it. I really want Mustache Mountain to get those tag titles back in the UK or do something. They cannot go down as one of those teams, one of those acts that just they really never got to the top where they needed to be. Mm-hmm. Just because it's obvious that they should be at the top, they're not. I want them to beat even as much as I love Zach Gibson.
Oh, you got some DC 5-Speed said he watched Rambo yesterday. Didn't they kill his wife or something?
Oh my God, is that true?
But then Subgum says Rambo was the bad guy.
It all depends on your perspective, right? Because he was breaking the law, but the dude is a traumatized war veteran.
Yeah,
he cried at the end of that first one, right?
Yeah.
Or he cried during that one.
Yeah.
Now you can't be mad at the guy.
Like
who's
the first
crying.
one is is a drama.
Yeah.
All the other ones are just are over the top action movies.
It's action.
It's sort of like the first Rocky.
It's like a real film,
a decent drama. Yeah.
The second one wanted to be something.
And then by the third one, it was just
parody.
Yeah, silliness.
Yeah, but it was great.
Wildly entertaining.
Oh, amazing.
But a pale imitation of what the
I
original
watched
movie
that
was.
boxing match last night too.
Which boxing match?
Piper versus T.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's awful.
Terrible.
That went on forever too.
I need to watch some of that stuff still. Because I remember, I've watched WrestleMania 2 several times as a youngster. I haven't watched it in a while. It's terrible though. After Forgotten Sons beat Mustache Mountain, we had a Matt Riddle interview. Kind of recapping why he approached Velveteen Dream.
I just wanted to say hello and get a close look at the North American title, man. And then Adam Cole says, "Riddle,
how dare you?
How dare you? If there's anybody that's going to have that North American title
around their waist,
or it's going to be Adam Cole, baby." And I'm like, dude, you're kind of bigger than that. This should be Roderick Strong challenging Matt Riddle right now.
I know. Well, this is all shot before injuries happen.
No, I know.
And then Matt Riddle says, well, let's have a match for it. And Adam Cole kind of backed away a little bit.
I know. I can't really get into I have questions, but I don't want to get into spoiler territory.
I know.
Because I'm kind of curious.
Matt Riddle pivoted from bro dude to being pretty intense.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. I think he's really good.
Oh,
and I know I get that a lot of people, the thing that I like about him is that he comes off, because I don't think in NXT there's a whole lot of scripting going on.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't feel like it anyways.
Yeah.
He comes off as unscripted.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and it just comes off as real. And he comes off as unpolished, which is great. I think it works. I know for some people out there it doesn't work, and I get that.
Oh, it totally works.
But for me, it works.
Totally works.
After that, we had, I can watch Io Shirai wrestle.
Man, she's spectacular.
Endlessly. endlessly.
It looks effortless to her.
Yeah, and she makes everybody better. Like she made it was one of the better Bianca Belair matches too.
Yeah, and it was relatively short too. Shayna Baszler was on commentary, being completely dismissive of both competitors, saying she didn't know like Io Shirai hasn't done anything to deserve a title shot, and then she already beat Bianca Belair. But there's a lot of great spots. That one early on where Io Shirai goes for a Hurricane Rana off the apron. Belair catches her and does the reverse powerbomb thing and sends Io Shirai into the ring steps. Belair hits a moonsault, gets a 2 count. Io turns the tables, eventually hitting a 619. Follows up with a springboard drop kick. Io goes to the top for a moonsault. Belair gets her knees up. Oh, sorry, that was later. Belair knocks her off the top rope into the Trio Woe, hits her with her braid. And then later on, this is when Io hits Frankensteiner, follows with the moonsault, but Belair gets her knees up. Bianca hits the spear. Shayna leaves commentary, goes in the ring, pulls Io out, puts the clutch on Belair. Kairi Sane runs down, trying to make the save. She gets the clutch too. Io runs in, clears Shayna from the ring, goes to check on Kairi. Bad move, turning her back on Shayna Baszler because she runs back in, puts the clutch on Io.
Yeah.
And after that, we had a Shayna Baszler interview with Kathy Kelly.
Yeah, Kathy Kelly. Well, Shayna says, number one, no single woman is worthy of my
she made
title.
a point of saying that at least twice.
Yeah.
No single woman.
Yeah, that was good.
And then Kathy Kelly says, well, I just talked to William Regal, and you're going to face
good news. You're not going to have to deal with a single woman. You're going to have to deal with three.
So it's going to be Io, Kairi, and Bianca taking on Shayna Baszler.
Going to be interesting.
The fatal four-way match at NXT TakeOver New York.
It'll be interesting to see the Sky Pirates have to fight each other.
I know.
That'll be good.
Yes.
Let's see here.
And after that was our main event.
Shayna was real. I'm sorry, just to go back to that interview. Shayna was really good. She's getting very comfortable just in situations where she has to just roll with it. Because when Kathy Kelly stopped her, and you see her doling out the news, and Shayna's like processing it with her face towards the camera, it was really well done.
It was good.
Yeah,
it was good. Her performance is top notch. Next, another semifinal match, Dusty Classic. Ricochet and Aleister Black taking on DIY. They had their shirts, their merch shirts. DIY did.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Came out together with their theme.
Yeah. Well,
seemingly a cohesive unit.
Well, they're a team, Larson. That's what you do when you're a team.
They are a team, Steve.
Come out to in your merch shirts.
Yeah.
Together.
It was a fun match. They gave it a ton of time, like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Towards the end, DIY goes for their finish. Ricochet pulls Gargano out of the ring, and Ciampa eats a knee from Aleister Black.
Aleister Black can go from sitting or on his knees or whatever to up.
He's very sudden.
Yes. Lightning quick.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like it.
No.
You know?
No, he's very quick.
Yeah.
Fast twitch muscles.
Yes.
Ability off the charts.
Yeah. Fast twitch.
Fast twitch. Later on, there's a spot that was pretty great where Ciampa lays out Aleister with a Tower of London off the top rope onto the apron. And then Gargano follows up with a slingshot DDT. He only gets a 2 count. And while Gargano's doing that DDT to Aleister, Ciampa's like on the edge of the frame hitting the draping DDT on Ricochet. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gargano locks in Gargano escape on Aleister. Ciampa does his armbar and Ricochet. We've seen this spot before, especially against Revival in their great tag team bouts. Ricochet muscles out, picks up Ciampa, gives him a Death Valley driver onto Gargano to break the hold. After that, Gargano starts selling knee. He rolls out of the ring, clutching his knee. Ciampa follows, checks on him. And from that point on, Ciampa has to handle everything himself.
Yeah.
Harkening back to the match that preceded their breakup, the ladder match against Authors of Pain, where Ciampa walked into that match having a busted up knee. There's a great sequence between Ciampa and Ricochet, a bunch of knees and kicks, just back and forth.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Gargano's still selling knee. He tries to get up, can't. Ciampa turns around from checking on him, goes for a fairy tale ending. Aleister escapes, hits the Black Mass. He tags in Ricochet, and he pins Ciampa after a 630. Aleister Black and Ricochet, they advance to the finals of the Dusty Classic. They'll be taking on Forgotten Sons. I think they said 2 weeks.
Yeah. Good stuff. Really good stuff.
Hell of a match.
Yeah.
Heck of a finish, too.
It really was.
So Aleister and Ricochet, they leave. Candice runs down past them as they're making their way up the ramp to go check on Johnny. Ciampa goes down ringside, joins them. He helps Johnny up, helps him up the ramp. At the top of the ramp, Gargano collapses. Ciampa lifts him up again, and then makes an attempt to grab him. He turns on him.
Yeah.
To send him in the LED board. Gargano puts the brakes on. I know.
Dun, dun, dun. He goes all Superman 2 on him.
Yeah, Superman 2 situation. Gargano was faking the entire time. It was a huge swerve.
He looks at him and goes, then tosses him into the LED, and then he brings down his knee guard and says, oh, it's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah, and destroys Ciampa's face with a super kick.
Yeah. And he says, I got you.
I swerved you.
I swerved you now.
Yeah.
And then Candice is all happy and stuff. And
they're
she's
chanting,
still not
the
wrestling.
crowd
And
is
it's pissing
chanting
me
Johnny
off.
wrestling. I know.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, great, you're back. Now move, and I want to see her wrestle now because she's like one of the best. But no, great moment, awesome moment. Given
the news of Ciampa's neck injury, I don't know if they're going to motivate the injury because of that, getting tossed the LED and the super kick, because it could totally do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to find out once the next round of the episodes airs starting next week.
Yeah. We'll find out. So, yeah, I mean, that was as fitting. It's funny because, like, obviously Ricochet and Aleister Black, are going to be headed towards
to the main roster.
And this is just such a special class. How do you feel, though, about how this class is sort of coming to its end? I mean, these four guys. I mean, it's really obviously sad for Ciampa.
Yeah.
And then on main roster, instead of having, like, big singles debuts, they just sort of put him out there. I'm not sure about Gargano at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be brought up now.
I guess we can also sort of speculate this would have played out on main as well, right? Because they were like cool on main, Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah.
They were cool on main. We had their split here.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have kept on tag teaming
here's
them.
the thing. You would think so, but I think maybe it was Meltzer or somebody said that the plan was for DIY to be in Aleister and Ricochet's spot on Raw, challenging the Revival for the Raw tag titles, rather than Aleister and Ricochet.
Oh, interesting.
So if that were the case, I don't know if that feud would have continued all the way to Mania, which would have been weird because they have been a tag team on Raw and feuding still actively in NXT.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if
that would have been real. Like if
made
there's that level of disconnect
I know that
between
been
NXT and main, that's a massive problem that really shouldn't exist. Yeah. I'll reiterate now, no spoilers in the chat, otherwise you'll get banned.
Yes.
Let's see here. Next, we've got NXT UK. Unfortunately, there is no Liverpool's number one. Is he injured?
Yeah, that's what Mustache Mountain said. He had a broken toe.
I don't know if they were just joking about that.
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, show kicked off with a Johnny Saint and Sid Scala interview.
I was dying laughing at this. Johnny Saint cracks me up because they're rolling up in the parking lot in Coventry. You know what I think? You never watched the original British Office, right?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, but you saw some of it.
Yeah.
I just remember
I know the deal.
There was this. I'm a big, as you know, as many people know, I'm a big England fan.
Yeah.
We listened to the votes come in the other day live on the BBC radio. But the original Office really did go a long way in making England look like the most miserable place on the planet, and that's just the theme of the show. These people are office workers are miserable.
Yeah.
And they eke out whatever happiness they can, throughout their day and then, with their job also. But, the big thing in the office was they'd go to Coventry Conference, which was like a big paper conference or whatever. So when I think of Coventry, they keep on saying Coventry. I think of Coventry Conference.
They kicked things off, getting to the venue. It's funny because Sid Scala is like a really personable, charismatic dude, and he's a really good promo guy.
Oh, yeah.
And like Johnny Saint just seems like a black hole of charisma.
He's like this legend.
Oh, he's an like absolute legend in British wrestling.
But it's obvious that it's obvious. And thank God for Sid Scala.
Yeah.
because, he got a job out of this.
Yes.
It's obvious that they probably, they're like, man, that'd be great. Let's get Johnny Saint. Awesome.
His name carries weight. Totally.
It does. No, it totally does.
It makes all the sense in
And
the
then
world.
the cameras start rolling, and he's like, oh, dear. Who? What's happening? What?
Yeah, he can't deliver a line. It's like, well, we need someone in this position with a little bit of gravitas. Let's get this young guy over here to help Johnny Saint.
But the funny thing is, when Sid Scala talks, instead of Johnny Saint looking like he has gravitas, he darts his head back and forth, looking confused. He's like, what? What? Who's that?
Yeah.
Sorry, what? And then he was able to say what the main event was, and even then he was like, the main event tonight is the Coffey brothers and Pete Dunne and Walter.
Yeah.
So come on, let's go.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, what is all this?
He's an absolute
I
legend.
thought this was WWE.
He's a legend, but maybe he shouldn't be on camera these days.
Hey, as long as Sid's next to him, I'm
Yeah,
totally
fine.
with
Totally
it.
fine, yes.
Because it's hilarious.
As long as Johnny Saint, as general manager, is in a supporting role, it works.
Exactly.
Totally. First match, Flash Morgan Webster versus Wolfgang. Perfectly fine match, but since there was really no story behind it, I really didn't care that much. But man, that apron powerbomb spot from Wolfgang, ow! Man, they had some stank on it.
Yeah.
And then Flash Morgan Webster is great when he starts throwing his body around all over the place.
Oh, I know.
Reckless abandon.
I enjoy watching him wrestle.
Did you see what it said on the back of his jacket when he walked in?
Yeah, it was Teenage Wasteland.
Bob O'Reilly fan, apparently.
Yeah.
It's a great song. I love Bob O'Reilly.
Nigel pointed that out, too.
Oh, okay.
He said, Teenage Wasteland, of course, the reference to Bob O'Reilly from The Who.
Yeah.
He lives his life for fashion and music of the mod culture. And then Vic Joseph was saying, yeah, Nigel, I'm waiting until you get dressed up in one of those outfits. All condescendingly.
Yeah. In the end, Wolfgang won. They had a name for his finish. I couldn't catch it, but he basically just tossed Flash Morgan Webster over his head.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
It was a something toss.
Wolfgang's cool as shit, though. He was on Twitter, and he said somebody had pointed out, Gallus is my favorite theme song, and then he pointed to, he says, check out the Wrestle and Flow
I know,
version.
I saw that.
Which is a really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good thing, yeah.
No, he seems like a good dude. That he apparently knows what the slow wolf pack is.
I know. I don't know who knows what about us, man.
I don't know.
I always think that we're so under the radar.
I know, and I'm always pleasantly
not,
surprised that people will recognize the work we do.
I think here's the thing. I don't think there's a lot of people that cover NXT UK. I mean, you look out there and it's like, I don't think Brian Zane's covering it. So I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they're like, oh, what do people think about it?
Oh, maybe. After the match, Wolfgang drops a couple punches on Flash and then gets broken up. That's about it.
Yeah.
Next
up, we had Cassius Ohno doing a promo for NXT UK.
Apparently, he's there now.
Yeah.
And he's saying that he's going to come to represent the true British style. He says there are all these young whippersnappers in NXT UK who looked up to Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, but not the legends of British wrestling.
Yeah.
He's going to go there and represent real British wrestling, the wrestling genius.
It's ironic.
Cassius
The
Ohno.
guy who does British wrestling the best is an American.
Heat.
Ooh,
Heat.
Who do you want to see him in a feud with?
Eddie Dennis.
Oh, that'd be good.
Although Eddie Dennis will probably go over. Next, we had Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus Tyson T-Bone and Saxon Huxley. I like Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan as a team because they're both really fun.
Yeah, they
both are fairly charismatic.
And they're doing this. Who is he going to dance or isn't he going to dance thing perfectly?
Yeah, their celebration after their win was great, where they're kind of hopping.
Well, they love
great.
Every time, and even Nigel's like, well, how much of it can be luck, and how much of it are you just legitimate? Because they act like they won the lottery every time they get a win.
I know.
It's like, no, you guys are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You should give yourself some credit.
Yeah, and they won. Amir Jordan.
And you're taking on Tyson T-Bone and Saxon Huxley, like the least thematic team. I can't think of a team that just doesn't make any less sense,
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know. Amir Jordan pinned Saxon Huxley after a Swanton bomb.
Saxon got pinned, motherfucker.
Yeah. Next, Jinny interview. They ask her about Toni Storm. She's like, why people keep asking me about Toni Storm?
This is great. Jinny's great.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm tired of people talking about Toni Storm.
Yeah, she seemed legit annoyed.
She calls herself the queen, right?
She's
Something like
fashionista.
that. The fashionista. Yeah, no, but didn't she say like I'm the queen or something?
Oh, maybe.
I mean, I know that's Charlotte's thing, but
Yeah.
they're an ocean apart.
Yeah.
They're the Atlantic apart.
Yeah. It was good though.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's good. A Jinny Tony Storm feud to be awesome. They did some good stuff
that's
in
killer.
progress.
Let Jinny hold that title.
Oh,
for
hell
a
yeah,
second.
man.
Come on now.
After that, Eddie Dennis promo. Apparently, he's got a match against Ligero next week, and so he was like, "Here's this guy who's been in the wrestling business 20 years." He said it hasn't quite been 20 years, but dang close, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. He said, "Ligero, who's been on the scene for the better part of 20 years," and because he started talking about Ligero, and then he said the 20 years bit, and I was like, how was that even close to being possible?
Yeah.
And sure enough, he made his debut when he was in 2002.
Yeah.
And I think he's like 34 years old or something.
Well, Pete Dunne's like 24, and he's like a 10-year veteran.
I know, but like 20, that's a long time.
Oh, it really is.
Well, it's like, yeah, it's like 17 years. Gee whiz. Hold on a second. How does that do? Ligero wrestler.
So they got a match next
He's
week.
34.
And when did he start?
So he made his debut when he was, what is that, 70? He was 1985 to 2002. So
17.
17, all right.
So he's a 17-year veteran. It's crazy. Eddie Dennis.
And here's the thing.
What?
It's probably actually closer to 20 years because
yeah.
he probably got started when he was like 14.
Yeah, probably.
They just probably can't say that.
Yeah, Eddie Dennis said he was done with his exile. I don't know what that means. Guess it means he's been away for a little while.
Well, I haven't seen Mastiff either.
Yeah, no. So that's the match that's going to happen next week. Next, we had Noam Dar come to the ring, drop a promo. Apparently, he is now full-time NXT UK. We'd heard this was going to happen.
He looked really cool. He had like the turtleneck,
very
with the
blazer
dapper
on over.
You know, for being so young, he is very seasoned at the promo thing.
Oh, he is.
Because he can that crowd is like really, he's like, next we are at some point soon. We're gonna have NXT UK from the most beautiful part of the UK, and the crowd starts booing it because it's Glasgow.
Yeah,
that's where he's from probably. And he says, "Oh yeah, boo the place you're not from."
Yeah, that was good.
I like that. That was good.
It just seemed to go on for a little bit.
Yeah, it was forever. It was a very long
promo. Anyways, Mark Andrews comes in because he starts talking trash about everybody in the locker room.
Airplanes.
One of them being Mark Andrews. Noam tries to attack. Mark Andrews hits him with a kick to the head. Noam leaves. Mm-hmm. They have a match later on where both of them got hurt.
Yeah. Do we know how long both of them are out for?
No, I guess Mark Andrews got knocked out, so probably concussion.
Oh.
But I think Noam Dar, the Warrior, was like a pretty significant knee injury.
Oh, that sucks.
So I don't know if they're going to show that match. If they both get hurt, I hope not.
Because I really don't want to see a
both get stretchered out. But if they're not going to show the match, it's kind of where they even bothered including
Oh,
this
no,
promo.
I agree with that. They'd have to show something.
After that, we had a brief Zaya Brookside promo saying that
she doesn't like
bullies, and Rhea Ripley is top bully in NXT UK. What we got there?
Dar was flown back to the United States to get the injury looked at. He's just coming off a 7-month match. Dar attempted to move. It was believed it was worse than there's no more info on it.
Just worse than it was initially feared, but no actual details. After that, we had Candy Floss taking on the debuting Kaylee Ray. As expected, Kaylee Ray goes over, kind of like a backpack face buster deal. Mm-hmm. They were saying that she was friendly or at least familiar with Nikki Cross since they're both from Scotland.
Yeah.
And so pretty decent strong showing for Kaylee Ray's debut.
Yeah, I liked her. She's cool.
After that, Mustache Mountain promo saying they want a piece of grizzled young veterans, but unfortunately, apparently Zach Gibson's got a broken toe or something like that.
A broken ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were just joking or not.
Yeah, I don't know. About the broken ego, probably. Broken toe might be legit.
Yeah, I don't think the ego can.
Anyways, Tyler Bates says he wants to take on James Drake, and then after that, Sid Scala makes it official with Johnny Saint. He said there'll be the main event next week, and Johnny Saint says, "Oh, our main event's happening right now. Let's go.
Let's go. Come on, let's go."
And they weren't even ringside. They're like going to walk away to watch it on a monitor.
Apparently, man.
Main event: the Brothers Coffee. Joe and Mark taking on Walter and Peter Dune.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned earlier, whenever someone bothers, has the temerity to come up and try to chop Walter. Oh man, he gets so mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, chop, chop, chop. I'm like that crowd. Chop, 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 chop.
He's like, come on, do it.
I just want to see him annihilate people. I want a hamburger. Anytime he's in the ring, I just want to see Hamburger. I want to see it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. He's got good chops.
He does. That first chop he did to Joe Coffey.
And I love that Joe like literally fell down because he rolls out of the ring because of the chop. I know. They are very powerful.
I know. I just can't wait for him to wrestle somebody that has no hair on their chest.
Yeah.
And doesn't wear anything to cover up their chest whatsoever. Because like when he faces Peter Dune's got his singlet on. So even if his chest starts turning into Hamburger, it's going to be kind of covered up.
I don't want that.
I don't want PCO levels because that was gross.
That's nasty.
That was a bruise over his entire chest.
Yeah.
I just want like modest Hamburger. For a hard-fought 20-minute.
Gets Daniel Bryan in there. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like what
Hamburger.
Daniel Bryan looked like after the Greatest Rumble.
Yeah.
That's the upper limit.
Not into that, man. I don't know.
I love hearing good chops.
He just looks like a giant baby.
Who, Walter?
Yeah.
Kind of.
He's so doughy. Like everything just moves around. Oh man, but he is there is. I'll put it this. It's funny because like I'm not anti Walter.
No,
he's very like number one. Everybody should have classical intense music.
Oh hell yeah, man!
For their theme, because especially after the match, when Walter got the pin on a power bomb, and the music kicks in, and it just heightens the drama between him and Pete Dunne. They're just staring at each other, and you have this amazing score playing. Basically,
I know it's very dramatic.
It's Beethoven, right?
Cinematic. No, it's
Mozart.
No, it's New World Symphony.
Okay, New World Order.
That's what Nigel keeps saying. I'll see who wrote it. The name's in my head, like Dvorak or something like that.
No, well, that would make some sense. Dvorak.
Dvorak, yeah, sorry.
Antonin Dvorak.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
New World Symphony. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, Walter pins Mark Coffey after a powerbomb, and then during the course of the match, belt was brought into the ring. Peter Dunne goes to pick it up. Walter steps on it, then picks it up himself. Bit of a stare down, and then he hands it to Peter Dunne. Yeah, I can't wait for their title match. And I like they're not just going full on with Walter chops. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
But when Peter Dunne and Walter have their match, there's probably a chop fest, and I can't wait. Because there's a little bit of one-upsmanship between Pete Dunne and Walter during this match.
Yeah.
And Peter Dunne threw himself a pretty wicked chop.
If it means that Pete Dunne's going to move on to NXT or main roster, like I'm all for that match happening.
It's going to happen soon.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
205 Live, another good episode. Kicked off with promos from the four participants in the two semifinal matches. More or less just mission statements.
I think each of these promos was in a different place, and I liked it.
With a different atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Drew Gulak, he was in front of a monitor that said 205
He's
Live.
like in Drake Maverick's office.
Shout out to that fan on the ramp wearing the 205 Live shirt. Man, that's a real fan right there.
That's dedication to the product. Yeah, Tony Nese wasn't in the locker room.
Only Lorcan was in the locker room.
Only Lorcan in the locker room.
But it was like the camera was like on sticks. Tony Nese's was just, he was on an iPhone promo, and the others weren't.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure his was an iPhone promo.
Maybe. Buddy Murphy had an iPhone promo.
Yeah, he was in his neighborhood.
Yeah, he was
that
on
was
vacation.
hilarious.
That was great.
He was in a suburb.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And then, Cedric's was great because he was like in a stairwell.
And it was like purple light behind him, and it was kind of foggy.
Yeah,
it was very
they
dramatic.
brought out some cool stuff for him.
Production value. First match, Cedric Alexander versus Oney Lorcan. Oney was working over Cedric's back vast majority of this match. An obstacle that Cedric had to overcome to eventually pick up the win.
These are two. This was I really enjoyed this match. Oney Lorcan wrestles he does a very specific thing involving a lot of slaps and uppercuts and stuff like that. And Cedric obviously has his thing, and it was very cool to see. Like, they both wrestled their matches, and then you got to see a mesh of it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, the finish, Oney slapping Cedric in the face. He tries to run the ropes. Cedric grabs him by the trunks, hits lumbar check for the win.
Yeah, it was cool. They gave both these matches a lot of time.
There's only two matches in this whole episode.
Yeah.
After that, we had Mike and Maria Kanellis backstage with Drake Maverick. Mike complaining that he had to face a local enhancement talent last week. He's been in the business 16 years. He wants opportunity.
He said that Drake was pitying him. He says, "Oh, here's this free win for you. I pity you." And he's like, "That's why I did what I did." And so Drake said, "Fine. Next week you'll have top-notch cruiserweight competition." Didn't say who. Mm-hmm. And then as the Canellises were leaving, he says, "Well, just remember, looking good in defeat only goes so far. So this next opportunity could be your last if you don't really focus."
Oof.
So they might get fired.
Yeah, maybe. Next, Arya Daivari promo. He's upset he wasn't in the cruiserweight tournament.
He's upset nobody brought that DSLR back for him because this is a crappy iPhone promo.
Yeah, I know.
I like him, though.
I do.
But, yeah, kind of whatever.
And after that main event, Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak. Good match. Drew trying to keep it on the ground. Holds, submissions, well-placed strikes and power bombs where Tony Nese was busting out some of his more athletic maneuvers, high-flying stuff, along with some solid strikes. And Nigel was trying to set the story where Tony Nese's best defense against Drew Gulak's submission skills was striking.
Well, even earlier with the promos, Drew Gulak started off by saying, "I know Tony Nese, and I can take advantage of the fact that I know how he wrestles." And Tony Nese says, "Yeah, I can't make any mistakes against this guy, but he doesn't really know me." And so the idea is he had to sort of wrestle a different game than he's used to try to throw Drew Gulak off.
We saw some new stuff from Tony Nese, though. He had a split-legged moonsault, got a 2 count out of it.
Yeah.
Too bad it wasn't Starship Pain, but close enough.
Well, yeah.
If it was Starship Pain, he would have won right there.
It would have been over
right there. Drew Gulak hit a pretty impressive double powerbomb, which Tony Nese kicked out of. That spot where Tony Nese jumps on the like scales, the ropes to the top. Palm strike to Drew Frankensteiner. That was cool, but misses on the 450.
Yeah.
There was this cool spot where Gulak's going for the Gulak. Tony Nese reverses into like a pump handle situation for a driver. Instead, Gulak escapes. Nese hits his German suplex in the turnbuckle. Goes for the running Nese. Gulak evades. Hits a lariat. Gulak does eventually lock in the Gulak. And then Tony Nese escapes enough to reverse it into a pin.
He pushes himself off the ropes.
Yeah. And gets the win.
Pin. So we're gonna get Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander.
They've had a couple of really good matches earlier this year.
Yeah. Did Cedric ever? So Tony beat him. Was it 2 times?
Twice, I think. Yeah.
Did Cedric ever get the best in the 1-on-1? So he'll probably win and go on. Here's what I'd prefer. Like, I'm not gonna bet on Tony Nese at all. If they had played up the Tony Nese Buddy Murphy thing,
which they haven't a ton.
They haven't. You're right. If they had, I think it'd make a lot more sense for Tony Nese to move on. It also might not surprise me to see something like maybe Tony Nese does move on. Well, actually, it kind of would surprise me. But if he did, Cedric, it's time for him to move up.
Yeah, no.
Like, we've seen how successful Mustafa Ali has been on the main roster. I think Cedric can have the same type of success.
Yeah, I agree.
It wouldn't maybe surprise me if he was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and Tony Nese had the match against Buddy Murphy. But that also would kind of surprise me, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to have Cedric move up, then he's totally going to lose next week.
Regardless, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. They haven't really – he talks a lot. Whenever he has a promo, he talks about being the foundation of the Cruiserweight division. But practically speaking, he hasn't really been. I mean, in this span of time, they haven't really shown that as being the case. But yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yes, good stuff. Question time.
Question time.
Undisputed, baby. Will Tyler Bate turn on Trent? Probably not. I hope not.
Down the line,
Well,
I think there's a lot to do before that.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me if, Trent's old, but he's not that old.
I think it'd be better if Trent turned on Tyler Bate.
Well, yeah, I think whatever match Trent would have to sort of if Tyler Bate, if WWE says, hey, when Tyler's 25, like 3 years from now or 4 years from now, whenever it is, if they're like, hey, we want to pull the trigger on you being a top-notch super
single star,
top-notch super
star,
best, a top-notch single star, then maybe they'll do that and have like a killer feud between the two of them.
Yeah. In which case, I would think that Trent Seven would probably be the one that turns heel.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cody Miles, we're now 1 year removed from the rumored 205 Live tag titles being made but not used. Should they bring the titles in or keep them in the warehouse? There's not enough people right now.
Yeah, right now.
There's not enough
people. Keep them in the warehouse. Texas Fight 210. Hey, Fredo's just ordered the new Kyrie 5 Duke Player Edition. Thoughts on Zion Williamson wearing Kyrie's instead of PG's tonight? Of course, Zion Williamson wore the Paul George signature
He's
sneakers,
playing?
and then
Bad. Well,
blew the
$8
shoe out pretty much. The whole front or the outside part of the shoe
Yeah.
came undone. He just twisted his knee. He's fine.
No, I know, but dude, you're a guaranteed number 1 draft pick.
Well, he's not a guaranteed number 1 draft pick, but he's the odds-on favorite at this point. He's got insurance policy.
He's gonna go number 1, dude.
Robbie Hyde, pick one wrestler's entrance you'd watch on repeat. One wrestler's entrance you'd watch on
Aleister
repeat.
Black every time.
Ricochet.
I can watch that over. Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
It's lasers, man.
Lasers are really cool.
Dexter Chipini, can Dunn's lack of promos hinder him on main roster? No, I don't think so.
You know what's funny is that
I find his promos actually really enjoyable because he just mumbles the whole time.
that's true. He also he's got everything. You know, that's one thing that Tyler Bate really does need to work on. He has everything you could possibly want in ring. He doesn't have enough charisma in his face to get by on not doing promos.
Whereas Pete Dunne does.
Pete Dunne does.
Pete Dunne could say a lot in just a shrug.
Yeah, he totally can. He can say more with a shrug than he can with words.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one. I mean, if you're just looking at two guys who are sort of at the top of the game,
Yeah.
that's I think the difference. I think Tyler Bate needs to work on loosening up a little bit, but he's also really young.
Maybe a heel turn would benefit him in that respect then. Because remember we were watching those British Strong Style.
I'd like to see him laugh.
I know Progress
Smile.
promos where they're all dressed up and they're out in the country and stuff, and that was all really.
And
good.
he had kind of a Pete Dunne vibe. He was kind of like the surly.
Maybe he's
kind of
just
surly.
Maybe just when he's boring babyface, he just comes across as boring.
That could be.
I could see that.
That's a good question. Demas Perez, Power Rank. Who's going to be the mystery opponent for Mike Kanellis? Besides Kushida, they are not going to wheel out. You're crazy. They are not going to wheel out Kushida for Mike Kanellis. I mean, I think it'd be a good match, but Kushida's not going to 205 Live. They love Kushida so much. I think they could be seeing Kushida as kind of like a Rey Mysterio type to go straight to main roster. They didn't even announce that he was at the Performance Center. They were trying to keep that secret.
ACH. He just debuted
In NXT, yeah. So that'd be. I can't think of anybody I'd
Stokely
prefer.
Hathaway.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That'd be so great. Oh god, I can't get enough of Stokely on Twitter. The reaction to his signing.
I know.
It's been such a joy.
I know
to watch people just.
If I'm reading the wrestling industry right, a lot of people must really like him.
Oh yeah,
everybody's talking trash.
Yeah, I think they all love him.
Yeah,
because he's hilarious, and like the freaking him posting a picture of him with loaded fries in the classroom.
Yeah, didn't Matt Riddle post something about him getting a chance to beat him up more or something like that?
It's probably.
He must be well liked.
He might. Yeah, I think so. Oh man, Richard Flynn. This is a good question. I'm a big fan of Oney Lorcan. Do you think he could ever be more than lower mid card? He should be. But I don't know, man.
I think it's the personality aspect that's holding him back right now. I think he could be a really good tag team wrestler. Like he could be a multiple-time tag champion.
I even think, dude, the funny thing is, he's got a lopsided face, but I think he's
got character to his face.
He's got so much character.
He's like a smaller version of Cesaro.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of his ceiling.
I know, literally, I was thinking about this after I saw his match with Cedric. I was like, in what possible scenario, what possible way would it be possible for Oney Lorcan to exceed expectations? Because he has everything.
He would have to go to All Elite Wrestling to exceed expectations.
I know. But hey, I don't think that dude can complain. I don't think that he's got to be, you would think. I think I'll put it this way. I think he's already exceeding expectations.
Oh, maybe.
Because I'm not sure how much, when we first saw him, we're like, who is this guy? And then we saw him chop, and I was like, oh, wow, he's
match
cool.
Against Roderick Strong, he had the house show. He was really good.
Yeah, put him on the map for us.
Yeah.
And then he's like challenging for tag team titles in the UK. And you kind of get the idea that, I don't know. Maybe another year, him and Danny Burch will do the underdog. Oh, they actually won the NXT tag.
I don't know, man.
The tag titles.
He's been NXT for a while.
But the NXT. Here's the thing: the tag scene is not that strong.
No, it's not.
It really isn't.
And there's not any. There's not like the last class of signees for NXT. I mean, right now there's not a whole lot of people left to be signed.
I mean, they could put Jaoud and Benoni together, maybe, because they've been doing the house.
Yeah.
Maybe, although I think Benoni's a stud. That guy looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think they're a terrific tag team, and I think the NXT universe they're like I hate to say this, they're like the Ty Dillinger of the NXT tag scene, like. They could be doing something with them because they're really good,
but they just haven't.
And the crowd really is into them.
Yeah,
but I think the crowd's into them more than they were into Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, that's up for debate, I guess.
Let's see here. Thayer Tabata, should Candice LeRae replace Ciampa as Gargano's tag partner?
Yes,
ideally, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not going to happen. But ideally, yes.
James Fletcher, do you deliver the $20 comic book care package to the UK? And will it cost any more? Need to get it. We do deliver to the UK, and that is actually the one situation where we totally lose money on that Patreon when we have to deliver the care package to the UK. But it's not that much money, so it's okay. David Prock, expanding on the idea of Worlds Collide, could you book a takeover event that pits the 3 network brands against one another?
The three-man teams.
That.
War Games.
So who's coming out of UK for War Games?
Oh, British Strong Style.
Come on, man. Don't be so obvious.
Bartel, Eichner, and Walter.
Ooh, that's good.
And then
that's good.
205 Live, Lucha House Party. It's already a 3-man faction.
Yeah, okay.
And then NXT... Forgotten Sons.
Okay, so what you're talking about is
NXT UK goes over.
Yeah, it's a mid-card War Games match. They kick off the War Games.
One of 2 War Games matches for the show.
It's on the Fallout show.
Yes.
Let's see here. Okay, that's just a comment. The Cult of False Reality. Should they make a cross-branded mixed match tag team championship? And if so, who would be the first to win it? Gargano and Candice LeRae.
Yeah. Or Montez Ford and Bianca Belair.
I would love that. I think that'd be terrific. Oh, wow. Well, no. Interesting. Penultimate Tommy Wiseau. Which wrestler do you think has the most creative letterhead on their memo? So wrestlers are now sending out memos. Twitter goes down the tubes. Instead, somebody invents some sort of app that deals with memos. Then you have your custom letterhead.
Creative?
Yeah, who's got the most creative one?
Velveteen Dream.
Oh, yeah, that probably makes sense. He's like the most creative guy. I could see that. Baron is in crayon.
Yeah.
It's like
Aleister Black just has like a death metal font for the letterhead.
It's got some pentagrams.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'd say Velveteen Dream.
Isn't that like a weird thing? Like people were saying that he was a Satanist or something? That's weird.
I mean, anytime somebody has anything reasonably, like remotely occult related,
Isn't
attached
it weird?
to him, people assume. I guess that's one of the assumptions some people make.
Isn't that a weird thing that people in the 80s were like, the government was so like crazy about like, oh, Satan is gonna infiltrate your child. That's a really weird thing. Like they had government hearings on like metal music or some crap like that, telling me about the powers of darkness.
I know. Well, it was the Tipper Gore. It was
the
PRMC, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to put labels on records for like parental ratings and guidelines and stuff, which eventually happened. The parental advisory, explicit lyrics, little sticker that used to be on albums.
That's so, yeah. Let's see if there's anything else here in the Discord. You know, they get on me for not paying attention to them, and then they just drop one question on me, and it's from Cody Miles.
I'll tell you, man.
Anyways,
Anyways,
I'm still in the lead of the New Japan Cup.
Good
tournament.
for you.
So that's all I really care about.
Good
That's
for
what,
you.
That's what Discord is good for
All
me.
right.
Anyways.
Later
on today, are we doing video game stuff today?
Yeah, we'll do video game stuff. Probably around one-ish. I got to go do something for a few minutes, so I won't be here for post-show.
I got post-show by myself today.
But upon my return, we'll do that, yes.
It's going to be a crappy post-show.
We got 2 episodes a week of Raw to do.
Yes. Fun stuff.
Yes.
Anyways. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Be sure to give us a like. No. A review, a rating, or a comment. If you're listening to this on a podcast app right now, leave us a rating or a review or a comment. We got to get back on reading some comments sometimes.
Good idea.
And then hit that subscribe button and the notify bell. Do it right now.
Please.
And then I guess hit the like. Our likes have been down. I noticed likes are down.
Well, that's
we need to get likes up. Smash that like. We got 326 people in here watching this.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash it.
Smash it. Let's try to get us over 500 for NXT episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post-show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.